He has signed with the UFC, and he'll be making his highly anticipated debut on March 9th in Miami, UFC 299, which, like I said earlier, shaping up to be a fantastic card. Let us say hello and let us welcome the newest member of the UFC, our good friend, Michael Venom Page. There he is. Ah, yes, beautiful stuff. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much, man. You know, as you say, it was building. You know, it was building the anticipation of where we're gonna go, and it literally over Friday and Saturday, I don't think I had any sleep at all. I was trying to finalize everything, and yeah, I've landed. We landed in the UFC.
Okay, could I ask who it came down to? What were you debating?
Again, it's more to do, as you know, the contracts are very detailed,
Yeah.
and it was just kind of nitpicking and going back and forth with the contracts. But it was it went down to the last two, which was PFL and UFC. But you know, the brand of UFC is just unrivaled. That match with what I've managed to kind of create in my name outside of UFC, I think it's a match made in heaven.
You did such a great job of building interest down to Saturday afternoon with the video of you digging into the gym bag with the two gloves. Was this all you're doing? Like, was this all?
Yes,
all you.
yes. So I got a great team behind me, and I always, look at the creativity I've had for years.
Yeah.
In the cage, my celebrations. I like to think about this kind of stuff, and I envision it way beforehand, and we had that stuff ready, just ready to go.
When your final fight in Bellator came and went, and you became a free agent, in the back of your mind, was the top choice the UFC, or were you truly just waiting and wanting to see what would come to you?
The top choice was definitely the UFC, but at the same time, it was nice to feel wanted, should I say.
Yeah.
It was nice to be able to hear offers from loads of different people. And everyone was just excited that, it was just nice being a free agent. So definitely I think the goal since joining mixed martial arts was UFC. And the longer I was away from UFC, it was kind of harder to see it. And then obviously this opportunity came again. And I'm just super excited, super excited.
In Abu Dhabi in October, you took a photo with Dana White. Was that your first time meeting him? And regardless, what was that meeting like, that particular one now as a free agent?
Yeah, I'd actually come across him a couple of times, but not actually been introduced formally. Because if you again, my most famous knockout with the cyborg jumping knee, I actually got knockout of the year, and obviously they do their I got an award for that at Fighters Only, and I went over to Vegas. So I had actually crossed him a couple of times, but never, like I said, never really spoken to him. Obviously this time very different, formally introduced, and it was nice, man. It's always different. I feel like similar to myself. He is a showman. When the cameras come on, he turns into this guy, And meeting him, I was expecting to still see that guy. And it's weird because people are the same with me. And he was so calm, so relaxed, so nice, so friendly. Kind of opposites from what I've been seeing on camera for many years. So it was very nice, very nice.
You mentioned, you like the feeling of being wanted. I said earlier that it's been a while since we've had kind of like a sweepstakes in MMA for a free agent. It doesn't happen often. Guys will often re-sign before their deal is done. Us in the media, we enjoy this thing because we could ponder and we could talk about the different, the different scenarios and whatnot. Would you recommend to your fellow fighters to try this, or is this only for a certain type of fighter? Like you could leave the company and test the waters. It might not work out, and you might piss people off, whatever? Or do you think every fighter should go this route and truly test the free agent market?
I think it's going to differ for each individual. And the reason I say that is because I know for a fact I've created a lot of hype and made a lot of noise outside, that kind of, there's many UFC fighters, UFC, the media outside in the MMA world all know who I am, and I kind of you get a sense of that when I go to certain places and certain people would recognize me, and it's interesting that I could be in the same room as another UFC fighter, and a lot of people were more interested in meeting me, saying hello, taking pictures with myself, which is nice. So I kind of figured that if I test that, free agency, I am going to get that kind of that kind of appeal I'm going to give out that kind of appeal and get that kind of attraction. So it would differ from each person. It depends on what you think your value is, but go with your gut. Go with your gut. Go with listen. Make sure you got good people around you to bounce off. But it's definitely nice. But some people can test free agency and nobody be interested. So
Right.
like I said, it does differ.
Are you happy with your deal?
Oh yeah, more than happy. And I said it's weird. I said I think I spoke to you about it briefly as well. I said if anybody sees me in the UFC, it's because I got a good deal. It's not I would never have gone over and shortchanged myself in any way, shape, or form. Like it was a good deal. And I'm definitely going to be excited to be part of the UFC. But being financially looked after does help as well with your journey. And allows me to just focus on being a better fighter. So seriously, my focus is head down, and the storm is not now. It feels like there's a big wave around MVP's name. The storm is when I get in that cage. Trust me.
Do you think this will be your last stop?
Yeah, you know what? I think this contract was like, okay, this is gonna be, the finale of the MVP journey. So definitely happy that it's I've landed here. I'd say 3-4 years. I've got a lot of other things going on in the background, and they will develop quite big over the next couple of years. So I'm excited to have things going on. So if I choose to leave, I've got things going on. But at the same time, I want to be in a position where I don't have to fight. I can just choose to fight.
And those things will only get bigger because you're in the UFC. I mean, look no further than Michael Chandler and what's happened to him, right? Compared to when same guy, but he comes to the UFC now, he's a megastar. I'm sure you saw that and think the same will happen to you, right? Well, there's no reason why the same won't happen to you.
Definitely. And seeing Chandler it was nice to kind of see someone kind of take that step ahead of me and see how he's been received on that side. He's an amazing athlete, exceptional person to watch in the cage as well. Regardless of his results, he just he leaves it all in the cage, and that's exactly what you want to see from fighters. We're different styles, but equally as entertaining. So yeah, it's definitely gonna blow up.
Did you know that your signing / arrival would be announced when it was announced and how it was announced?
I just, like I said, it was the 48 hours. That was crazy, just finalizing everything. Then it was like, look, we want to get it done so we can announce it. So I kind of knew that it was going to be announced in the post press conference of the UFC. But yeah, he did it so casual. It was very interesting to me more than anything. I'm not sure who it was that said it. He was like, "You're just gonna drop it like that?" Like he did it so casual. I kind of like the fact that he did it in such a blasé way, because and then he just made loads of noise afterwards.
Were you sleeping? Because that was like 6 a.m. your time, right?
6 a.m. Like I said, I genuinely, Ariel, I had zero sleep in 48 hours. Because the night before it was the negotiation. So I'm staying up because obviously the time difference. I'm staying up. So Audie is messaging me saying, look, this is what's being said. I'm messaging him back. He's going back. And it was just back and forth. I had a long day Saturday in the day with family and everything. Announcing to my family, basically, like, look, it's confirmed. It should be announced after the UFC. And then I stayed up to watch the UFC because we had the trailers and stuff that we wanted to put out. As soon as he said it, we threw it out. So, yeah, it was it was a long 48 hours, but it was weird. I was legit. Everyone was like, I don't know how you're still up, but when it comes to work, I'm ready.
And did you so something like that happens, and I'm sure your phone is now being flooded, right? And there's so much excitement. Could you even go to bed on Sunday?
I needed to.
Okay.
I needed to, and then when I woke up, I was like, I'll deal with that once I'm up, and literally just bit by bit, been chipping away and kind of just receiving the blessings I've got from. I've got a lot of good people around me, and it's nice to kind of hear friendly messages and congratulations, and how excited people are It's just been nice over so far. And then even down to the my excitement in the cage, in the gym, I'm training and it's just there's a different energy and different air around me. I can feel it. So this year I'm looking forward to just going through this camp now.
I appreciate what you're saying, and not every fighter is going to be as savvy as you are and have all these, videos. Even Paradigm had the photo of you with the gear. By the way, we were trying to decipher, was that Photoshop or not, or were you actually wearing the gloves and the shorts?
I've got an amazing guy in Luke Knight, who he was the guy that ran my fan page, and then he's now working for Paradigm. He can make anything happen.
Wow, good.
I don't need to do. I'll be sleeping. He'll make it happen.
Yeah, we're showing the picture right now. This is phenomenal work. Well done, Luke. It's a beautiful photo, and the promo was great as well. But can I be a nitpicker for just a slight second?
Let's go.
Come on, MVP, big time freak. Can you drop a promo on the pay-per-view? Can we get Joe Rogan talking about it and Anakin? Like, it was a little too nonchalant for my liking. I mean, just I like, what? Come again? What? MVP UFC? Come on, dog. Like, could we make this into a bit of a bigger deal? Am I allowed? Is this fair? Is this fair?
We are gonna. Don't worry. We're gonna make noise. It's all good. They know what I'm working with. Like, they don't even need to do too much work. And like I said, I got a great team behind me. I've just set up a new channel, shall I say, which is now these two guys are going to be my eyes and ears of combat world, similar to like the Mac Life for Conor McGregor. I've got the KO show, and it's with Kaz Crossley and Ollie Sutherland. These two are some of my closest friends, but their energy and everything, people are going to love them. They're everywhere. They're massively into combat, and yeah, we're going to be doing some work there. I'm going to be doing some promo videos. Like, I'm getting to work. Trust me.
Okay, fair enough. And welcome KO show. Where can people see the KO show?
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's the Kaz and Ollie show, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So they'll see it there. So you just jump on my YouTube channel and you'll get to see some great stuff.
They're coming for us, huh? So you're saying like they're coming for our next?
Yeah, we are coming for you, but you are the GOAT. So,
how did we end up with Kevin Holland? And were any other names discussed for your debut?
I think quite a few names were discussed, but they, initially it was kind of like they asked me, like, well, who do you see yourself fighting? And genuinely, I was like, I don't need warm-up fights. I'm not interested in any of that. I've done my time in terms of my career. I simply want to jump into the deep end and start making a lot of noise. They had mentioned Kevin Holland. They had mentioned a few other names. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'll just wait for once I've gone past Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland just makes sense, man. He's a great guy, great athlete. He's a guy that is game. That's going to be an amazing fight. The talking, the trash talking, the build up is going to be good, but respectful. What I've been seeing so far in combat sports, I hate. I don't like it. I don't like people talking about people's fathers, people's wives, people's girlfriends, people's kids, all of that kind of stuff. We need to go back to martial arts. It's mixed martial arts, and everyone seems to have lost themselves a little bit. I have zero respect for people that feel the need to go there. We're skillful athletes, and that should be enough. I'm more for the banter. I'm more for the jokes and keeping it kind of friendly, and that should be enough to build a fight. And again, we can keep the intensity, but it should stay between me and the person that's fighting, and that's it.
I couldn't agree more. I just spoke an hour about all of this. How it feels like last week was a very dark time for the sport, and it's been building up. But it felt like we were rolling in the gutter with some of this trash talk. This is insane.
For me, I feel like the UFC could, hand out fines, just do something, just to kind of alleviate. So people don't. If you're gonna step over I'm not gonna punish you open to the public, because I guess it helps with sales, I guess. But there you go. Have that fine. Let's see how often you're gonna want to do things like that.
There was once a time,
like a yellow card in football.
Absolutely, there was once a time where they policed Twitter, and Miguel Torres. This is like way back. I'm dating myself here. Got released from the UFC for saying a horrible joke about rape on Twitter. He eventually got rehired, but he lost his job, and all of a sudden, Twitter was becoming a crazy place when it was exploding, and the fighter started acting accordingly. Now you've got guys fighting in the stands. You've got guys talking about parents, and there's no repercussions. That's only going to make it get worse, and more people are going to copy this and say, "Oh, if I could, if I could do this, maybe I could get a main event or a title shot or more."
That's what I mean. I think you don't want to kind of promote things just the wrong way, and also on top of that, when it gets that kind of personal, real stuff can actually happen. And then for me, it falls back on the UFC. So hopefully, they've seen that it's getting a bit too much, and they tighten that up. But on a positive note, I think me and Holland is going to be the way it should be. You know what I mean? It's going to be good fun watching the build up, good fun. Kind of people picking sides and our intensity, but it'll be done correctly.
Okay, so I was just going to ask, do you like this matchup? Clearly, you do, and it feels like this is like a bit of a fast track situation, right? Like you're not here for a long time, you're here for a good time. Let's go. Like, give me the top dogs.
I want the top dogs, and seeing some of the fights on the weekend, I was drooling. I was like, yo, get me in this cage as soon as possible. Like I can see what I can do to some of these guys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Can I ask you about the main event? It is your weight class, so I'm sure you were watching very closely. What did you think of the main
100%.
event?
Yeah, you know what, Leon, exceptional performance in terms of how he held pressure on Colby for the majority of the time. I feel like he was still being a little bit tentative, especially after you've clearly won 3 rounds. You should let go, open up a little bit more. He's already damaged the leg. I feel like he could have done a little bit more to capitalize. He's already taken him down. You've already got him. I stood up on him in that time. Now it's like, well, this guy can do nothing to me. I should now start landing a few more combinations and actually trying to finish the fight. Even if it was a case of, tell your coaches, when there's a minute left of this round, let me know, and I'm going to open up because, I'm going to control that round to the 4th minute. Means you're not going to win. And then I'm going to open up and try and put you away. Just for the last 2 rounds, I feel like he literally could have finished that fight. But outside of that, I'm happy for him, especially that he kind of explained how his head was spinning, with all of what Colby had said. For me, he's a disgusting person. And I haven't met him. And I never like judging somebody that I haven't met, but based on what he's doing and the actions that he's doing, I don't like that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that he lost and he's kind of left himself in... where does he go from here kind of thing, but yeah, congratulations to Leon, and I just kind of look forward to being a part of this whole package that's in the UFC.
By the way, on the flip side, what did you make of Colby? Like this wasn't the same old Colby, right? There was no
very
pressure.
Weird
pace.
Enough, I was talking about this today with some of my teammates, and I was actually thinking maybe the mind games that people that claim that he was doing mind games by talking about Leon's father, maybe the mind games backfired because he was like, how angry is this man? So I feel like he started on the back foot, kind of like worried that he's just opened the gate to a dragon, and that's what allowed Leon the pressure, and he was never able to bring that back, especially after that. I think literally the first kick ruined his leg. When I looked at it properly, I think the first kick straight away was like he was already on the back foot anyway, just worried about what kind of person he's let go. And then when he got that kick, it was hard to kind of ever come forward. I don't even know what he was doing, raising his hand and then shaking his head like I don't understand this guy, but. Yeah, he was a shell of himself, of his former self.
What kind of relationship, if any, do you have with Leon?
We're cool. We're cool. It's not best friends. Go restaurant and sit down. But we talk. Every time I see him, it's cool. Shake hands. No issues. I have actually been out of him a couple of times, but it's just usually just because we just happen to be in the same areas and stuff, or around the same events and stuff. And again, no issues. He's actually been to one of my events before that I put on. Again, it's chill. The fact is, we're prize fighters, and when the time comes, we're gonna get to work. And I can already see it. I can already envision it. I can already see MVP, Leon, Rocky Edwards in the UK. 2 British fighters. That is gonna be unbelievable.
Well, that's why
Unbelievable.
I was asking, because I feel like this would be gigantic, right? I mean, this
Oh
would be
yeah,
one of the
100%.
two British guys fighting for the belt. How far away do you think we are from that?
If you look at the Chandler route, I'm definitely in that. I'm definitely on that mode. It can't be long. Like you said, in here for a good time, not a long time. So I just want to come in and make as much noise as possible.
Golly, that would be fantastic. Man, I mean, we keep talking about the stadium show. Two British guys fighting for the belt. If that wouldn't warrant a stadium show in the UK,
I think that's the stadium for you. Like I said, if all goes according to plan, I make the noise that I know I can make. You know, no, I never overlook anybody. Yeah, I'm taking Holland extremely seriously as a fan as well. But I do what I know I can do against him. It blows up. I do what I know I can do against maybe one other person. Me and Leon
Leon,
beat
yeah.
me. It's the magnitude is going to be crazy. He doesn't need to do. He won't even need to do anything to sell the fight. He's already done his job. You know, that big kick that he did. You know, beating Usman twice. The beating Colby now. He's done his job. He doesn't need to say anything else. Leave the rest to me. I'll sell it out.
And are you happy with March 9th, or were you hoping to fight sooner?
To be fair, yeah, we wanted to get a little bit more time just because we didn't know where we was going. So I've been training, but it's more to do with the weight cut. I've definitely each camp I've gotten a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. So I always need that little bit of time just to cut. So it's a perfect amount of time, and I was already booked to go away as well.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to see my family for Christmas in Miami.
Oh,
so it's great. It's weird how everything's aligned. So my first fight in the UFC is going to be in Miami, and I've got so much friends and family over there. So all my siblings are going to be there. I seriously cannot wait.
What a card, and I love everything about this. I love you finally being in the UFC. We've been watching you for so long.
Thank you.
Couldn't happen to a better person. I do have to ask though, man, you and Cedric Doumbé in that cage, it did get me a little. That fight would be incredible. And you made the right call. And look what happened to Chandler. But if there was like one
Yeah.
fight just on the outside that I would wish for, it'd be that one. Was that ever a serious consideration, or were you just messing with us there?
No, 100%. I think PFL are doing some amazing things. So I couldn't not consider it. We had to, I took them very, very seriously. And what they're doing is great. And as you say, there's fights over there that are equally as interesting. But personally, as you said, as we've spoken about a couple of times, I'm in here for a good time, not a long time. I feel like the strategy for PFL is a bit more of a longer period, and I'm not in the age bracket to kind of wait for you to get to that point, So UFC made the most sense for MVP.
Okay. Can I ask you one last one before I let you go? Every time I see KSI fight, I think of you because it looks like you out there. What did you make of his last fight? And I'm talking about the one against Tommy Fury, not the one against Speed on Friday night. And has he been back to the gym since that fight?
Yeah. So that Speed little clip that was in our gym.
Okay.
That was in our gym.
Okay.
Shalana Shoe Fighters. So he's back in the gym. He's had a lot of media and different promotional stuff. So he's away and then he comes back and away and come back. So until he actually has a fight like solidified, his next fight solidified, he's not going to be back into the gym as consistent. But I don't know if you notice any of the guys that are in our gym since I've joined that gym, that whole gym's kind of doctored. It's footwork, yeah. And we've got Norbert Naveni, you see him fighting side on, KSI now, see them fighting side on. All of us have adopted that side because everyone's recognized how effective it is. For me, especially in boxing, as much as he didn't get the result, I personally think he won it. And even when being in his corner, looking over at the other corner, they were all heads down, like almost ashamed that they've just watched. So then and how much they exploded on the other side after they got the result, they can tell they didn't believe that was going to happen. But regardless of that, his style now side on going against people that have boxed for that time, you need some shortcuts. And my style is so unorthodox and it's so confusing for a lot of people. It gives you that little bit of a shortcut to fight people that are a bit more experienced than you and actually stand a chance.
You need to do me a favor. I got to work a little bit that week with Idris Virgo, who also
Yes.
trains at the and I was like, man, London Shoot Fighters, you guys are great. MVP. Shout out to Lee Murray. What a legend. Just saw the documentary.
You say you didn't know him.
He didn't know Lee Murray.
Yeah,
What?
it just can be a bit of exception.
I was like, I thought like if you join the gym, you have to sit down and learn who this man is first. Like that's the indoctrination. He had no idea who Lee Murray was. How's this possible?
I am on the case. Don't worry. Everybody that comes in from now on, I'll make sure. I'm actually putting together a comic that about London Street Fighters. So this is one of my projects in the background. So yeah, all of these stories will be told. Don't worry.
I can't wait, and I can't wait for your debut. Congratulations, my friend. Really, really happy for you, and can't wait to see what you do in the UFC. Well done. Happy holidays, and we'll talk soon.
You too. You too. Sending love to all your family, everybody, man. Much respect.
Same to you. Congrats, Michael. There he is, Michael Venom Page, the newest member of the UFC welterweight division. He is fighting Kevin Holland on March the 9th. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.